we have a side view of it, and we have a picture of the hapless ranger who had to measure how far out from the cliff it was leaning. So even when the Chacoans were here, this was a threatening rock, and we know that because we found a whole bunch of prayer sticks all around it. And that may seem funny to you, but their prayers were answered. It didn't fall till 1941. They also built this wall right here. And you may look at this wall, and it was a little bit bigger, but not a whole lot bigger. And you may look at it and say, why on earth would anyone build such a teeny-weeny wall to hold up something 4 times the size of that? What good would it do? Well, that's where the geology comes in. If you look up here, you see this absolutely gorgeous, strong sandstone. This was actually laid down when we were underwater. This is from the late Cretaceous, the whole cliff here, which means about 85 to 75 million years ago when the dinosaurs were still around. And in fact, we do find dinosaur bones in it. Those would be the swimming ones, along with the shark teeth and the shells and stuff like that. Ammonites are found in there. And underneath it, what we have is called the Menifee. And don't worry about the name, that's just a name somewhere where it looked real good and you could see it real well. And they named it all of it after that. And that was not underwater, we were at the ocean side at that point. And so what we have there is we have swamps and lagoons and very fine sand, which when it makes rock, it's not very good rock. And we also have coal. So it's crumbly rock and it's coal. And when you get it wet, it will crumble. So just think about what they did with the wall. They put it where the crumbly stuff is to protect it. So it was actually pretty smart. And it worked. It kept this thing up for thousands of years, or 1,000 years almost. However, it was starting to waver in the 30s. And the folks here thought, we better do something about it or it's going to crush our beautiful building. So they figured out things they could do, maybe explode it that way, which they could do. People who are talented with explosions can aim it. They decided not to go with that one. Then they thought, oh, let's get the cables from Carlsbad Caverns elevators and tie it to the cliff. And for some reason, they didn't go with that one. What they finally decided to do was dig all the junk out from behind it and lean it up and stabilize it. And it might have worked if they've managed to get all the way through, but about half the way through, after they dug plenty of the stuff out, they had an enormous snowstorm. And then the snow melted. And then black ooze started coming out of the bottom. And it started getting real wavery. And they stopped making that poor ranger go up and measure it. And they did what anyone would do. They hired a photographer. So the photographer comes in. He goes absolutely bananas. It's so gorgeous everywhere. He takes picture after picture after picture, and guess what happens?
He forgot to pick.
He runs out of film. Fortunately, we did have a trading post right nearby over at Pueblo del Arroyo. So he runs over there to get the film. He's getting his film, and guess what happens? Kaboom! Everything shakes. He runs out. Oh, what happened? And I have a picture that shows what did happen. So here we are. This mound is what used to be threatening rock, and you can see it actually did take a bite out of the ruin. We lost, I've heard, anywhere from 30 to 60 rooms, and a little bit unfortunate. The archaeologists think that the wall was maybe 5 stories, maybe 4 and a parapet in the back, so we had that tall a wall. It did, however, bring down this lovely geology to where we could see it. If you look where the lady in orange is leaning, you will see a whole bunch of things that look like pieces of wood and little pieces of leaves that have been pressed into the sand, and that's exactly what it is. But don't go too far over there. You want to stay behind the line here. I know it's tempting. And after you've enjoyed that, take a look up here at this small triangular rock here. What do you see?
Scales?
That's actually ripples. That's ripples from the bottom of the ocean. So when you look at that picture, sharks and ammonites and mosasaurs swimming right above that. Pretty cool. And when we go around the corner, we'll see some clam beds right beyond it.
The moral of your story is?
Don't run out of film. Don't run out of film.
That's one of them. And when
Don't mess with Mother Nature?
yeah, that's another one. And when Mother Nature decides to do this, make lemons out of lemonade and go up to the top and see what a great view she gave you.
I have a question.
Yes.
We saw on the other side, I guess it was, this whole thing, but then there's a black level.
That's one of the coal layers. Yeah.
The coal.
That's part of, when you look at the stuff that's on the bottom, it's not one big layer. It's a whole bunch of little itty bitty layers. And some of them are coal and they would be black, and some of them are really fine sand, which goes anywhere from coal to white. And so you get
Wasn't a
all
fire,
sorts of
okay.
layers. Nope. It was coal. Yeah, it's when you have like a that is a type of gypsum called selenite. It grows in big sheets and it's quite shiny. And they think they might have used those as mirrors to communicate from place to place. Right here.